know that YaHoWa is trying to show us in a very graphic way, you know, in a big dramatic way, some of those principles. And liberation was certainly a word he understood and used and was seeking his own liberation. And we all thought that that was something, you know, worthy to emulate or to try at least to achieve within ourselves in any small way that we could.
He told us that we were in the source anticipating a time of a future age when there would no longer be any religion and there would no longer be any middleman between man and God. A person would be born with the understanding that they were God, and the only teacher that they would ever need would be their own father and mother. All right? No more religion. We realized that we couldn't live in the golden age, but we took the concepts that we imagined a golden age would be like, and we adapted them to our own time and place, which was the 1970s in West Hollywood, California. And we did it in the under the harsh scrutiny of the most bourgeois social consciousness that exists on this planet, which is the entertainment and music industry, you know, the home of the entertainment. The music industry, which is really the epicenter, the Rome of mind control, is it not?
It was in this way that the band and musicians came about as an addition to the restaurant. First it was Father Yod and the Spirit of 76, then other incarnations of basically the same musicians under different names, such as YaHoWa 13, the Savage Sons of YaHoWa, and Firewater Air. All these groups except Firewater Air were led by Father Yod and YaHoWa himself. The songs were all spontaneous and improvisational. The lyrics were channeled from unseen places by Yod. All this was made possible by converting the garage at the new Father House into a recording studio and band room.
And then they turned the garage into a band room. Octavius came into the family as a drummer, and Father went, I have a drummer? Well, if I have a drummer, then I must have a guitar player, a bass player, and I have singers, and I have a band. We have a band. We're going to do music.
We had a recording studio built into our house, and we would take that recording studio with us wherever we went. And after morning meditation, the musicians would gather and we would just start to lay it down.
He said the music was going to be, that the music was way before its time and that his message would come out through the music.
And he said that, you know, it would carry a frequency that would be like spiritual seeds that would transcend time. A lot of the model that he operated on was very gender-based. You know, it was like, he said, well, the music, you know, for somebody to write a song and have it be very melodic, and then they practice it and they overdub and they, you know, and he said that's feminine music. That belongs to the old age. I'm going to express masculine music, and that it would be the antithesis, the polar opposite of what he called feminine music. That meant it was unrehearsed, that it was delivered spontaneously, that it was delivered with voice inflection, with no rehearsal, no redo. He just focused, he meditated in the morning, he got an idea that he wanted to deliver. Sometimes he had notes, and he'd go into the band room and he'd belt it out, and the musicians just had to keep up the best they could, you know?
I mean, you can explain it like being in the band room was higher than any drug, you know, you could ever take. You know, that energy that we produced in there just, you know, made us soar. You know, you could actually feel like you had wings on and you were flying, you know. We just wanted to completely clean ourselves out and just be a channel of the music, you know, and let that come through.
I remember Jin, he was the guitar player, the predominant guitar player, and he was named Jin because he's full of fire. This guy is so fiery you can't control him. And sometimes he would just play a big chord and his guitar would all be out of tune, so we'd all just we'd play for 5 minutes just trying to get into tune, and it would come out to be some of the greatest stuff you ever heard, man. All out of tune and notes everywhere, but all in harmony, you know. And then finally we would all lock it in, and by that time it was into a beat and it was into a groove, and then we would just go with it.
While it's said that they recorded a total of 65 albums in the 5 or so years that they were together, only 9 were released by the Source family, and in very small pressings, sold in a section of the restaurant called Higher Key Records.
But nobody was really buying them. You know, we couldn't really get them out there. We thought if we got a major record deal that they would do a lot of promotion and get it out there more.
And we felt that the music would be the vehicle that we could, number one, be able to sustain ourselves with, and number two, well, actually, that's really number two, but they're sort of in tandem. Number two, being able to sustain ourselves, but number one, to be able to get the word out, that people would hear the music and hear the wisdom and become enlightened.
These are teachings of his worldview. It was a frequency. It was a message that would cut through time, and that it would alter the future. It would not only alter the future, but it would find listeners, because the man is authentic. The man is absolutely genuine, you know, and he's got something to say. The man was a natural adept, and he liked to study and apply hermetic principles of frequency, vibration, rhythm, gender, all of those very abstract hermetic concepts. The soul exists outside of time, and he was very present as an entity or an energy that transcended his time, that existed. He existed in the past. This is something interesting about the Source family. It was as if we were existing in the past and the future simultaneously.
Species!